Hey YouTube, just a quick note before we start this video. I originally started recording this video prior to my work's Christmas break. Over the Christmas break I ended up sick. I spent a lot of quality time with my son, who's just a little under a year old, and spent some time with my family, and never made it to recording the second half of this video. So now, flash forward, we're about halfway into January, and I'm finally getting a chance to record the second half of this video. So it may seem a little odd. I'm wearing a Christmas hat in the first half of the video, and we're not doing that with the second half of the video for obvious reasons. So enjoy the video, and we'll see you on the other side. Hello YouTube, Select Start Player 1 here, wishing you a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Holidays in whatever region you're in. Just wanted to do a pickup video here. Had a co-worker who said they had a bunch of old stuff kind of tucked away in a closet, and wanted to know if I'd be interested in it, and basically let me make him an offer on it, and we worked out a price. So I'm really happy with this pickup video. Some interesting, kind of unique stuff in here. I don't think there's anything that's terribly valuable on an individual basis. There are a couple of gems in here, but nothing that truly stands out. But there are a lot of filler things that I certainly didn't have in the collection before. So without further ado, we'll jump right in and get to it. One of the first things that we got, we always love the retro consoles. 16-bit was admittedly probably a golden age for video gaming. So we got a Super Nintendo, really clean condition. Has the sticker still on it about ejecting the pack. And the FCC information is embedded on it, so I'm thinking it's probably the small board for folks who are into the geeky internals of them. I think it's the smaller board style one. But that also means that it doesn't work with the Game Genie for Super Nintendo very well, unless you have the exact right model. So either way, two controllers both in really good shape. Buttons feel solid. So also AV cables and power cables came with all the systems that I'm going to show today. So these are all complete and ready to run. Dreamcast, standard white model, US Dreamcast, standard modem on it. That you'll find as we go along that I'm a really big fan of Dreamcast. Love a lot of the stuff. Think it was a really overlooked system in its era, and I think a lot of collectors would agree with me now in retrospect that it's unfortunate that the Dreamcast died off, because there's a lot of really cool games on the Dreamcast. As a result, I was really kind of happy to see this, a green Dreamcast controller, and the matching green VMU. It's always a shame you never see the caps for these in the wild. So if you do see VMUs floating around with the caps on them, I've heard folks say that the caps are worth almost as much as the VMU because you never see them. And then a standard controller for that system as well. And then we got the purple, I don't know if this is referred to as cobalt or what. I know they did the same color in some of the Game Boy systems, but the purple GameCube controller and system, and taped to the top is a Nikio 128 meg memory card, and somebody even took the time to label what games they had saved on here. So it's like Need for Speed Carbon, SpongeBob, a 007 game, and looks like something Sea Adventure, and I think I saw that, yeah, Shamu's Deep Sea Adventures. So when we get to going through the games here, we'll probably cover that. We can move things around here real quick and we'll do game. Alright, so we're back for the second half of the video now, and we're going to go over the games that we got with these pickups from my coworker. We'll start out with the Dreamcast games. There wasn't a whole lot of excitement here. I always love picking up Dreamcast games. Unfortunately, these are some relatively mediocre titles. We ended up getting we got a NFL 2K. We got an NBA 2K1, which I think I got the Dreamcast sports bundle games at one point, so I have the 2K1s and all of that. So these really are duplicates for me. And then surprisingly, I didn't have a copy of Daytona USA before now, but I do now. So for those who like to see the insides, they're all there. Set those out of the way, and we'll move on to the GameCube games. So we got Super Bubble Pop, and inside there are the precautionary manual. I'm not sure if there was a full manual insert for this game originally or not. Anybody who knows, if you want to put the comments down below. There did not appear to be a regular booklet with this. We got SeaWorld Adventure Park's Shamu's Deep Sea Adventures, and it does have all the insides, book and manual. We got Need for Speed Carbon, which also appears to be complete. We got the Player Choice Edition of Disney Pixar's Cars, and this appears to be complete as well. We got the Player Choice Edition of SpongeBob SquarePants the movie, obviously the video game. And bear with me here for just a second while I flip the manual over. It appears to be complete. We got Sims, and it appears to not have the manual. We got The Herbs, Sims in the City, which appears to be complete. We got Super Mario Strikers, and it is a bestsellers edition. Now, if you're wondering, when I mention like the Player's Choice or the Bestsellers Edition, for folks who may not be collectors who know that there are different editions, with like the Player's Choice editions, that usually indicates that the game sold very well in its initial release, and it's actually a reprinting. So you could consider these games to be a second or third edition of the game. And it's interesting, you talk to different collectors. Some collectors absolutely hate them and will avoid them. Some collectors try to get both the regular and, if it's released in like a Player's Choice or Platinum Hits or a Game of the Year editions, any of these special sub editions, they're also trying to collect those as well. So it's always interesting to get different gamers' opinions on them. I myself, in collecting for completeness, just to have a copy of each of the games, I don't really care. If I happen to pick up a second copy of a game, I will, that happens to be one or the other, so it's a Player's Choice or a Collector's Edition, I'll go ahead and keep that alternate version. This is 007 Nightfire, Player's Choice Edition, complete with the manual. And the last game for GameCube we have is From Russia with Love, 007. And no manual on that one. Okay, so we're done with GameCube. Now we're going to move on to Nintendo 64. And the first title we have here for Nintendo 64 is Extreme G GX2. I'm interested to play this title. It looks like it's the bicycles on the front of the, or motorcycles on the front of it, almost remind me of light cycles from Tron. So I'm interested to see how this plays. I have not played the game previously. We got Rugrats in Paris, the movie, the video game. And we got Bomberman Hero. I've actually heard people mention this before in collecting. I'm not sure if this is one of the ones that plays with the multiplayer adapters. I think there's an 8-player multiplayer adapter for some of the Bomberman games, so I'll have to check that out. And War Gods, which actually I really liked that game in the arcade. Played it quite a bit. It was one of the games that was using the 3DFX graphics accelerator engine in the game. It was also one of the first games that I felt did 3D fighting in the round and did it relatively well. This game was a little bit of a predecessor to the Soul Calibur series, so this was a little bit before that, and I think it did really well. Really a shame, I think they modeled Mortal Kombat 4 after this and didn't do as well with the balancing on the fighting engine, and I've always disliked Mortal Kombat 4. Now we'll move on to Super Nintendo. There's some interesting gems in here, and actually a game that I've really wanted for my collection for a while, so we'll get right to these. We have The Great Circus Mystery, starring Mickey and Minnie Mouse. It's a Capcom Disney title. I've not played it previously, so I'm interested to see how that plays. We got another copy of Super Mario All-Stars. Always a great thing to have, a backup copy of. Another copy of Super Mario World. Again, great game to have a backup copy of. Battleship. I know I have this boxed on... I might have this boxed on Super. I know I have it boxed on Genesis. So this may be a duplicate for me. Disney's Aladdin. Again, I think is another duplicate for me. And Tiny Toons Wacky Sports Challenge. Be interested to see what that's like. Some of the Warner Brothers games in this era were good, some of them weren't, so they're hit or miss. And then we also got Tiny Toons Adventures Buster Busts Loose. I think I've seen some reviews of this game before, but again, a title I've not played previously. And then last but not least, Mega Man X, which for me really made the deal for picking up this entire collection. While there are other neat little gems throughout the collection, that was the one game that really stood out to me that made me say, yeah, you know, I want to work some sort of a deal out with a coworker and get this game. So that's the games that came in this collection. Sorry about the delay in getting this video out. I know it's been over a month since I've dropped a video. We're going to be back in the regular swing of doing videos again. I've got some more purchases that I've done since, which will be in another video, and I'm going to have a first impressions video on the Wii U. So some things to look forward to, and remember, select start and game on.